All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Don't forget, you can go ahead and like, subscribe, and do all the things, but you can also stop by our store and get anything that you want, and you can get 30% off your purchase. All you have to do is type in HBCU band. All right, man. Before we kick this thing off, I want to shout out to my people, man. So first, let's just go straight down the line. Quan, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Concert season is in full swing, which is a blessing. I'm still trying to have my kids enjoy themselves. So we got a tentative Mardi Gras parade we trying to do. We did the MLK parade, which was, for those that don't know, for the first time in almost, I think, 30 years, they had one MLK parade in the city of Houston. One. They had.
Gotta find my clap button.
Yeah. Don't clap for that, because that was a lot. Did you find it?
It's coming. Give me a second. There we go. I found it.
Yeah.
There we go.
So for the first time in 30 years, they had it's called the Unity Parade. They usually have two parades, the original and then another one called the Grand Ole. They had over 300 participants in this parade. When I tell you, and for those that don't know, I'm talking about from the front to the back of Houston, all the way downtown. Participants. It was really beautiful. And honestly, in the spirit of Dr. King, honestly, I feel like that's what he would have wanted. But, to brag and show the favor of God, we were number 9. So we were literally the high school to lead it. So it was colleges. It was Texas Southern that opened it. It was University of Houston. My alma mater, they didn't participate in it this year. And then right behind my doctoral school was Worthing High School. And we truly enjoyed ourselves. And, while everybody still was marching, we was walking to the bus. So
best way to do it. Get it done and get it over with. I used to hate being in the back. Man, don't put me in the middle of the back, especially when you said 500 participants. Oh, nah, brother. Nah.
Well, 300 plus.
300?
But they may have had 500 though. No lie, bro. Like, I don't know if you could just recall the city, but all the way from like where City Hall is to the Federal Reserve, all the way back, they still had more people. But it was a beautiful sight to see, and the weather was beautiful. Like it really was a nice turnout.
Okay. Good. All right, man. I'm gonna come back to you in a minute, Quan. But Portia, what you got?
I'm doing good. No complaints here. We survived the bad weather down here. It's still real cold in Virginia, but I don't have any complaints,
Yeah, well, there you go. That was. I thought you had more, but all right, cool.
Short and sweet.
Hey, man, can't argue with it. I will say this. When you talk about weather here in the DFW area, it's been very interesting to say the least. We've had a lot of ice, a little bit of snow, and then a lot more ice. And so there are some people who have been taking some chances on these roads, not realizing that black ice is a real thing. So, for those of you guys who are in the DFW area, understand this. Some of the ice has melted into water, but freezing temperatures are still a thing, which turns that water into ice. So we don't want to take these chances. And you have to remember, DFW area, even though we've had these quote unquote little snowy patches or whatever, is not overly equipped because this is not a normalcy. So you don't see a lot of trucks moving around salting and all that kind of stuff. That's not a thing. So please be safe, be careful. And if you don't gotta go, stay to the crib. Just stay to the crib. All right, man. All right, we didn't fill everybody in on everything that's been going on with them. I ain't been doing much of nothing but just trying to live this life that we got it. Now, I did say I wanted to come back to you very quickly, Quan, because of the fact that you said that you guys are getting into your concert season. So is it concert season or parade season?
I mean, depending on what region you're in, bro. I mean, being a New Orleanian, being from Louisiana, bro. At the end of the day, it's parade season. Quano is parade season. Period. Non-top, Demian, Bacchus, Rex, Zulu,
You see how when you start talking about it, the accent come real hard. You see that, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's go get them. Tell my spy boy. Like, all of that. It's that time. Like you can't knock that. But for me, it's concert season.
Fair.
Texas, it's concert season. We try to give our kids, the best of both worlds. And because, Texas, we have a few parades here and there, Galveston, to get a movie. But we also have rodeo season. That's honestly, it's really bigger, bro. Like, people miss that.
For the city of Houston, that's major.
So I just look at and we try to give our kids those things. And also another thing I'm trying to do, I'm trying to revive not just culture, but like pep band. Like we kind of losing that with high schools for sure. Like, because we focus so much on UIL. And I think it has to be a balance. And I must say, this is the first year where I'm serious, of course, always serious about concert band. But I've just come to the conclusion, and just through prayer, what's the real growth of my program? Like, and I think I'm not even tripping. If I get it, great. If I don't, let me look at the growth. Mm-hmm. I just think that's where I'm at right now. Like, that trophy, like I've been listening to many other people be like, oh, as soon as you get it, all it does is collect dust. Now, those are the people that have them for 30 years, all right? But of course, I would like to have one. But if I don't, to God be the glory. I know the growth in my kids. Mm-hmm. So, but I want these kids to have experiences, bro. But it's for us, it's both.
I love it.
And I think that's what makes our kids adaptable, bro.
Yeah.
We could get into that topic later, but I was talking to a professor that a lot of other cultures cannot adapt to what we do.
That's fair.
But
I agree.
I want to get off topic.
Absolutely. All right. Well, while you're still on that topic, I wanted to go ahead and bring up something really interesting, only because of the fact that, as I start traversing this space, it seems like some people are one way and some people are another. Are we still excited about band, or is it just a job now?
What do you mean, bro? Like, put a little more meat on the bread, Paul.
Okay. So burnout is becoming very quick. Right? There used to be a time where the excitement for doing band all year, specifically, and let me be very clear, and I, to the audience out there, I'm just going to date us a little bit, but I'm also talking about people around our age and maybe a little older, right? It becomes a thing to where people are like, yeah, I'm probably tired of this marching band stuff. I'm ready to hurry up and get to spring. Or, hey man, I done heard enough instruments now, man. I need to get my ears a break. When is the summer coming? You know what I'm saying? So that I can take my rest. So are we getting tired of band? Is it something that we burning out of quick, or are we looking at it as just a job now?
What perspective? Are we talking about people who work?
I'm going all facets. So even I'm talking about band directors. I'm talking about people who just enjoy the activity or just enjoy listening to the activity. I'm talking about from all walks of life.
I'm gonna say from two perspectives, which end up overlapping. I think before I got on the band staff, I would consider myself a band head. Like, I would watch videos, kind of immerse myself in it. I don't do that now. And I think because I'm so involved in it, on a granular level, I mean, the ins and outs, ups and downs, and I don't really get a break from it. I'm always working on something, which is why I think last year, after talking to my therapist, I took that break period. It becomes something, it is a job for me. I mean, I have responsibilities. I am getting a check, but I don't really get time off. So it is a job. I was just talking to somebody yesterday saying that before I got on the band staff, I went to 5 homecomings a year. And it's hard for me now. But if I can, and we have a bye week or a game we're not traveling to, I try to go to somebody else's because it's not work for me. Do I enjoy, our homecoming? I do, but it's still work for me. I have to be there. I can't be at the tailgate the whole time. I have to report for duty. Now, as soon as a halftime show is over, I'm going and I'm, transitioning to an alumni, but it's still work. So it is a job for me. So my thought process about running to watch Battle of the Bands after they're over, I don't do that now. And I used to. Yeah, it has changed. The Portia me, the coordinator me, has impacted how I view marching band. And it's likely that once I'm out of this space, I'll go back to doing that. But it is work for me, and I can't separate it into anything else at the moment for me.
Okay. Quan, what you got?
I mean, what Portia said is true for those that are in it, but for those that are quote unquote the band heads, they loving it. Like it's their ish. And I think there's a dichotomy for the band director. We feel like this is our calling. That's why we selected this field, right? However, there's little bit of room for just the pure enjoyment of it. Like what she was saying, like that person that said, well, I used to go to other homecomings. So from a just pure enjoyment point of view, I can enjoy the HBCU atmosphere. I can enjoy this other band. I can critique them from the point of, yeah, I'm a band director, but I'm just a listener. I'm just enjoying the experience. But when you're in the seat and you're on the helm, it's always, well, the articulation was wrong or that phrasing was wrong. So it's like job. And I think that's why, like me, what I've been doing lately, even for myself, I've been calling other band directors, hey, let me clinic your band, so that you get a different set of ears.
Yeah,
get the excitement of another group of kids. Because when you stand in front of your kids and you say the same thing over and over, sometimes as a director, you be like, are they getting it? You like, are they taking it in? Because you're daddy to them. Oh man, he just tripping. But when you say the same thing possibly to another kid, they're like, oh my God, like you're so right, and then vice versa. And I think that's the difference. So for the band head, think about it. We have August to January with Celebration Bowl, parade season, right? Gym battle season, summer band. So when is there a break? Quote unquote for the band head, right? So there is no break.
Well, that and that in and of itself, can there be a burnout for a band head? Getting that much band for that long for an extended period of time, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever years, can there be a burnout to where it's like,
So I'm gonna say this, and you know me, I don't give two whatever. Most of these band heads are not band directors, though. That's the difference. So, and I'm not
immersed in it, and they're not immersed in it the same way. So it's two different perspectives, which is why I said that, like how I thought about it and how I felt about it. Now, grant you, it wasn't when I started as the assistant coordinator. It was 2019, so it wasn't this much band all year round. But my perspective is definitely different now that I'm immersed in it. But what I'm going to say is a different perspective is these Battle of the Bands are getting further and further into the spring, and there's no shortage of bands signing up for it. So, maybe some directors are okay with it too. You know.
So
But that's well, go ahead.
I'm not saying that the band directors, because I can't speak for nobody, else.
Right.
So this is how I feel, and I'm gonna just speak about my program here. The fall football season, we know that's a wash. Like, it is what it is, right? When it comes to the spring, the Mardi Gras is in my opinion, it's a treat for the kids. If you from Louisiana, culture, period, right? If you're able to travel there, that's a treat for those kids. Still a job for you, but it's still a treat for them, experience of traveling, so forth and so on. Honestly, after UIL, for those that we know the intensity of what we put in and attention to detail, a gym battle is a reward. Honestly, for me, that's what I'm looking for. Because you could kind of like let your hair loose again. So I understand the moments of it, but I would still be lying if I said that the band culture isn't saturated. Because again, we always go back to the epic conversation. Remember when you heard about the event, instead of just, well, I ain't gotta really go because my boy Killer Kev gonna go live, my boy Justin gonna go live. So it's a difference now. Like, you remember to get a tape, or I remember you had to call the music department to some of these schools and have them mail you a recruitment DVD, and the excitement that you had to receive it is just different now. And I think that's the difference. But the burnout part, a lot of these people who are over these organizations, they're not head band directors in certain components. They're not, they're just not. You have band directors that support, but they're not the head band director. Like, no disrespect, I'm gonna name an organization. Like, for example, when Greater Houston All-Star was the master clinic guy was Gip, but the person that was running the program was Mr. Knight. He wasn't a head band director for a lot of those times. Not saying that he was never a head band director, but a lot of those times he wasn't a head band director. So
he had fresh legs to put into it.
Well, yeah, but also too, some of those people of these all-star programs or summer programs, they're the administrator. Like, they may not be running rehearsal and going and getting buses and getting transportation. You got to think about it. A band director at these institutions, scholarships, recruitment, retention, politicking here, got to do, like, that's a different stress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then,
but that's what I'm saying. When you get the guy who may be just the assistant, or the young dude who arranges, who may not be on staff really, but he getting paid under the table. He's more apt and excited. Yeah, he's more excited to go run a summer band or something like that. So he has fresh legs ready to do it. But again, to me, that's why I asked the question also about age. Because I think also age plays a factor into that too. Not only just being the band director, but also, or working at a university, but as we've, gotten older, and I'm, we all not old, but we've gotten older. But as we've gotten older, we got a lot of years of band. So, always trying to rush to see it or be in front of it or go to watch it. Sometimes that can be there could be a level of burnout in there too.
Well, I've always was taught that being a band director, it really is a young man's game.
Yeah.
And then number two, as we matriculate and get older, some of your goals change.
Yeah.
Like, when I was young, I was like college band director. Well, what I've experienced at a high school, this is, through God's grace, this is year 7 at Worthing. I'm like, I'm more fine arts director of mine now. Why? It's because I'm looking at, and this is Quan speaking, being a band director, that's only a fraction of what I feel like I can bring to the music education world, because we see the big picture now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So as you matriculate and get older, you be like, okay, so how can I impact band? But I also see the need for fine arts. how can I make sure that these schools are on a level playing field?
Right.
So your mindsets evolve, and I think that's what it is. But to answer your question about burnout, a lot of these band directors, they have it, but they've put in so much work. They're not about to leave that seat because they're not about to leave that money either.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. But again, I think that plays back into the job portion of it. You know, that therein lies the as you like to say, the interesting dichotomy of everything, right?
Yeah, because now it's my career, right?
Yeah.
And I've invested these years in this career. So, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Portia, you brought up Battle of the Bands not too long or in this conversation. And first of all, before I get into this, I'm gonna have a very great interview, and I think we're gonna end up doing 2 interviews on Luke's Band Report, but we're gonna have DJ Arnold up here. And if y'all don't know who DJ Arnold is, like he is the tape god of tape gods, right? Like all the tape people have gone through or gotten something from DJ. But
he better than Tape Master?
Yes. By
Real?
far.
Okay.
He has sent me stuff that I ain't seen. But I say all of that to say he is also, in my opinion, one of the master historians of HBCU band culture. I've had some interesting conversations with him. He hit me to some information that I was not even aware of. But when I have the interview with him, I want to be able to break some of that down. But I say all that to say, does anybody know the beginning of gym battles? Like, where did gym battles start from? I don't know why that popped in my head. I had never done a gym battle until I got to Norfolk. I
know, I could tell you for a fact, in the South, we didn't know what that was.
Exactly. I
Here.
had never heard of a gym battle until I got to Norfolk. The first one I had ever seen was Norfolk, the 2001 recruitment tape, Norfolk and Hampton, I think it was, when Norfolk played Raise Up. And I was like, they do this? Like, they get in the room together in a gym and just go at it? I was like, yo, this is my kind of scene.
But what's crazy is, even to add to that, bro, I remember when I first saw it. So my first experience of it was when A&T, they was sending those DVDs and whatnot to everybody. Mm-hmm. And I ended up getting one. But what's crazy is then I saw the sectional portion too. Mm-hmm. I was like, because that was when I saw Cold Steel. And I'm not going to get into Cold Steel in the box. I'm not going to do it. But they know Cold Steel had jail suits on.
They went to jail because they killed MD.
MD. Yeah, I remember that.
So literally they had, I ain't lying then. They had them jumpsuits on and they had harnesses, white harnesses. And I was like, who is these people? And I thought, but the way they were playing, I was like, they could play. They could play. But, and then I ended up seeing a box and that was it. But I was like, man, like they really do. That's when I heard of Shucky Ducky and, all of those sections and whatnot. And I was like, they really like playing, but I don't know. It gotta be an East Coast thing, bro. It gotta be East Coast thing.
I'm gonna ask DJ when he comes on. I want to know if he has the history on that. But I say all that to say this: has the Battle of the Band culture as we know it start to change over, and do we need to recognize that change? Because we've already said, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, the Battle of the Band culture is very heavy. And honestly, I would think that it's kind of died out. It's not as much as it used to be within the last, 3 or 4 years. I remember it was a lot of Battle of the Bands going on at one time. I don't think it's as many as it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I think it was a lot of like people popping up with them and states, like all over the place. I would agree with that. I think it's more being done by like the same people.
Yeah, right.
But it was some time that it was like random people
just having Battle of the Bands, and all the same bands had to be there for every single one. And you was just like, yo, We ODing now, but has the Battle of the Bands culture as we know it run its course? And what I mean by that is more or less just like the field show aspect of it, because I don't know if field show presentation as it relates to Battle of the Bands now was just like hot, because we have this argument right now of, well, who's a great field show band, and really the same people come up every single time, and a lot of people are asking for more stand stuff in these field show battles. So has the battle of the Bands culture run its course as we know it? Do we need to rethink it, revamp it, so on and so forth?
You want me to take this portion?
Yeah.
So the battle of the band culture has not ran its course. Here's the thing. I feel like now more than ever, we have more. You have more students interested in band than ever. Now, where they pursue it is a difference. We have more comparison videos with people, a person from Australia is looking at her first HBCU band, and then you have band programs from the Bahamas, from the Philippines, mimicking Black culture, right? So
somebody's working with them young dudes, by the way, and it's always a young lady, but somebody working with them. The little intricacies they have in there. I've seen people try to copy J5, and I'm sorry, some of their little intricacies, somebody working with them. But go ahead, my bad.
Right. Even they had a drum line that was, I believe, in Germany. They was playing parts of sequence, like from PV. You know what I'm saying? At a basketball game. So what I'm saying is, it's for the taking, right? I think the way that they're going about having the same type of gym battles, it is saturated. But to say that it's dying, nah, it's just evolving. Because the reality of it is, it's more of a money-making thing than ever before. People have learned how to take out the middleman and honestly learn how to make money themselves. And most of these gym battles and battles of the band, they don't be real quote unquote band people, but they know how to facilitate it, get the money, throw the money out, because they know people gonna come, and it is what it is. I don't think it's died. I think it's bigger than ever, but I think honestly, we sound like the old people for what we want to see, because we know. I'm
about to say, I think you may be, but yeah, I don't know.
Something for everybody, right? There are those people who are going to want to come and just see the stands, right? That's a thing, but there are people who still want to see what you can put together on the field. I also think that Quan has a point. It's not just band heads or band alumni coming to these events. Mm-hmm. There are people who know what's coming to the city and just want to see it, be a part of it. And so I think you have to have a little something for everybody. I think that there are people who just want, the gym battle style where you're just playing back and forth. But I also think that these people who are having these battle of the bands know that you're going to lose some people if you just have
a crank up session.
Like you're going to lose some people with that. I mean, first of all, that many bands is going to be hard to manage without something in between all of this playing back and forth. Now, don't get me wrong, if somebody did that, it would probably sell out because there are people who want to see that. But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know that there's certain colleges aren't coming to that for you to just, why am I traveling? And that's the other thing. And that you paying for lodging and all of this stuff for me to come play 4 songs.
Just got a point.
That just seems like a lot, but I don't know. I don't think it's run its course. I think for a while there, like we said, it was a lot going on. Like every other weekend, it was a battle popping up. I think now there are like a few big ones. There might be some smaller ones, but I don't think it's run its course. I think it's a little bit of something for everybody. And I think that they're going to sell because people are interested for whatever reason.
I think they wean themselves out. Like those little mom and pops ones that try to, you know.
I agree.
I think they wean themselves out. So we know, honestly, we looking at it like the one with the Celebration Bowl, regardless if we agree with it or not, the ESPN one, because it has a backing, right? I would say
National Battle of the Bands.
National Battle of the Bands. Now that they've added the second one in Florida as well, like that's going to be something new. I feel like what's his name? Dollar Watson. Like I feel like his is going to continue to honestly be a staple in tradition. What is outside of that? I don't see really
not consistent.
Right. Maybe we could consider Honda.
Man, we don't know what Honda's life is right now.
I think that California didn't work for them. I think they got to find a space.
But the last two that they did, the California and then the one that they did, it was at Alabama State, I think it was.
Yeah. I think they need to find a home.
I think, hear me out. I really think that the memory that we have of Honda
should be it.
That's it. I honestly think Honda's done. Unless Honda does something so out of the box and left field that you just gotta go. Because technically, National Battle of the Bands is the new Honda.
Is the new Honda. Absolutely.
The one in January?
No, the one at the beginning of the year. The school year.
It was something about seeing people at their prime. Most people aren't prime in August.
That's fair, but I mean the hype for it, the energy for it, that's what Honda was. The only difference, and I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to say this to be funny or whatever, but for me, the only difference between National Battle of the Bands and Honda, which I wish we would just get back to, but I noticed I probably think it's far gone, is the Fab Four collaboration that used to be a very big thing when it came to Honda. Like, I remember being back in the day, and it was a sea of blue when you were at Honda, and then after a while, it became a thing where Phi Mu Alpha and SAI would get their own group or their own area and all that kind of stuff, and that was a big thing. I think for me, that's the only thing that National Battle of the Bands is missing. But the hype of it, everybody's trying to go to it. They're getting the top name groups for the most part. And they've added the stands part to it. Like Honda, I'm sorry. I think Honda done.
Oh yeah. From that point of view, yeah. Because I look at it like this. You've dealt with your summer band, you've dealt with your ratchetness, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh, we going back to decor, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you'll be low-key excited to see who's gonna be these killers. Because who really prepared during the summer? So I agree with that point of view. The only thing is, I kind of disagree with. Well, I'm not disagree, but the only thing about Honda is they should pull a plug for certain years, for a certain number of years, and honestly, they should bring it to somewhere that's maybe international. That's the only way it's going to survive.
But again, they got to do something drastic. They got to do something that's so outside of the box that people got to go. And that's literally what I'm saying. Like it's got to be something.
Problem is that they don't have a home, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. But they can't go back to Atlanta and have anything because it's the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Oh.
They can't do that. That's counterintuitive to their brand. Right. That's counterintuitive to their brand. So the biggest issue is they need a home.
And they can't go to Houston because National got that sold up.
Do you understand? So the biggest problem is they need a home.
I knew you
And
were gonna say that.
California won't want actually, me and Sieber had this conversation earlier, and that's what I said. They either need to do another place in the Midwest Texas area, or they need to do New Orleans. They need to find a home.
If they do it in New Orleans, hey, of course you can't do it during Bayou Classic, right?
Right. No. I mean, well, Honda used to be at what, the end of January?
Well, see, but you can't do it because it's Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I said that's their dilemma. They need to find a home, and they're struggling doing that. So I think it's hard to even consider them coming back because they don't have a home.
Yeah. And then you also have to put it in a city that's attractive.
That's the hard part.
That's attractive and not gonna cost me an arm and a leg. It's not. I don't know if you've ever been to Cali, but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
Hey, here we go. I'm gonna say it, and you know what? It's funny. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not even a fan of saying it because you remember I'm from the city of Houston. But you could bring it to Dallas.
No, that's what I was saying. Like either somewhere else.
See, Quan, the same way. I'm like, but I mean, it's possible.
South, Midwest.
It's possible, but it's like
because the other thing is this.
Exactly.
You have to find somewhere that has a covered stadium because you never know what the weather
what the elements are going to be. Yeah.
You know, so you have to consider those things. So I think that's their biggest struggle is they need to find a home.
Yeah. I think those are the two biggest things. One, they got to do something drastic. And then two, you definitely got to find a stable base.
And if they bring it back, like they would have to have the best of the best lineup. It would have to be done in a different way. It would have to be, and it's possible, but their biggest feat is going to be finding a home for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with anything. Like without a doubt. Now, what I will say to kind of button this up, as far as, you know, the battle of the band culture and all that kind of stuff. One thing I will say is we can't deny that culture has shifted either. I think what we've done in some programs or some battles or whatever is that we've tried to deter from how culture has shifted, right? I agree with you. I think that, you know, the little kid who's at home and the mom or the dad who remembers the old school band wants to see a drill. They don't want to see the crank up, right? So yes, I think the battles are something for everyone. But when you just come into a room and say, well, we just gonna do drills and that's it. Well, I think that you've also pushed away a lot of the market because that's not where the culture has moved to. You have to add those things as an addition. And in my opinion, there's also ways to make it hype. You know, but that's a whole different conversation. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to this last topic. I know he had to step out for a second. I want to play this, but I want to play it so I make sure he sees it. So while he's getting ready to do that, I want to make sure that everybody go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe button and do all the great things. Don't forget, you can stop by our store, get anything you want, and you can get it for 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. All right. Got to keep the show rolling. So let's go ahead and get to this final thing. Now, if you guys have, for all my band folks, if you've been living under a rock or you have no idea what's going on or anything to that nature, there was a podcast that was taking place. I think it's like the Bethune. I don't know if it's a Bethune network specifically, but there's a podcast that's taking place called The Real with brother Stephen Holmes. And the day that he did this podcast, he went through all the Bethune stuff, but the title of his podcast really was Bethune Wildcats, Marching Wildcats, so on and so forth, the best of the year. Like he was really highlighting the program. And then things kind of took a turn because Donovan Wells called in. And he aired out his thoughts and his personal complaints and grievances, and it was a very interesting thing because the shift was really weird in that space. So We're not going to pull out all of it, but there is definitely a piece that I want to quickly talk about. So y'all hold on to your seats and we're going to watch it.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't have no problem with you being honest. I have a problem with you being phony.
That's fair too. That's fair.
And my thing of it is that the people I want to be honest is the people that's in rehearsal every day. They're the people I want to be honest with me. The people that I have in the rehearsal every day, that I practice with every day, that pour their heart out every day, that's trying to get their degree every day, just like the other people have.
Yeah.
They're the people that I want to be honest with me. Everybody else has passed on. That's their time. They passed on. That's their time. And everybody wants me to be like other bands. If we like other bands, I mean, there's nothing unique about us. If we're going to be like other bands, if we're going to blast in the stands and we're going to be like other bands, there's a uniqueness to us.
Yeah.
And whether they like it or not, Hollywood likes it. National TV likes it. And you know why they like us? Because we have a sound that can be transported on TV and they can send out to the masses. A lot of HBCU bands, they can't put on TV.
True.
That's a sound you can't put out there. So I don't have a problem. My problem, people I want to be honest, is the people that I have in the band.
Yeah.
The people outside of the band, if you're not giving us anything, if you're not giving the college anything, and you have all of these opinions that say, you need to shut up. Because you're not giving anything to the college. You're not giving anything to the program. And you have all of these negative things to say. That's just like when we were going through the college, we were going through the turmoil.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that had a whole lot of things to say.
All right. So, lot to unpack there, but I will definitely ask, this is the question. This is the first question off top. Are we in a space at this point to where we can still feel a way about people's perspective on what we do in the open space? Like, should we still be, and this is not directed to Mr. Wells directly, so I want to make sure I make that clear. But are we in a space now where we can be like, hey man, you don't have a right to have an opinion about anything?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. This is the age of the internet.
No.
You give it to them.
I mean, people don't agree with us on here all the time. So what? Like, these are our opinions. These are our years of experience. These are our thoughts. And people have lived completely different experiences. People have completely different perspectives. And so what? Like, I think most of the time, if I'm responding to something that somebody said under our comments, I'm joking about it, or, nobody's completely pissed off or upset. Like, that's your opinion, and that's okay. Like, you said you don't want to talk about him directly, but I just think as a band director of his statue and of his legacy, why even address it?
So I'm gonna tell you, and I know I told you this on camera, but I want to bring it up. In that conversation, he specifically said the fact that the people that he had helped is the ones that he was most frustrated with, because they were in the comments talking mess. And these are people that he's helping with scholarships, gave them some money on their books when they have nothing, financial aid, or, all of these different things. And then he also added, you come smile in my face, but then you got the nerve to talk about me behind the scenes. And so that's when he was like, I don't like you being phony. So that's my perception as to why he felt the need to comment.
Are you ready for my perspective?
Hey, you already know.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you rock.
Let's get to it. Let me tell y'all, I like Donovan Wells. I really do. A lot of time he says the thing that other people won't say. But I feel like this was a little bit too much. I completely agree with the part of don't come at me at homecoming or when you visit the school or when we come near you and you get to see the band and you walk up to me and you say, I think the band is doing great. I love what you're doing. I'm so proud to be an alumni, whatever. And then get on the internet and completely understand that. I don't think you should be phony. I don't think you should lie or be like that. That's where my agreement with him and this whole exchange and how it happened stops. If your perspective is I'm the band director and I'm going to do this how I want to do it, then you don't address any of it. For what? I guess if I could ask him a question, my question would be, what would be the point of joining the podcast?
Well, here's a thought, right? If the people in the comment section has a right to have a thought and opinion, maybe, just maybe, his mindset was, well, I get to have the right to have a thought and opinion too. I'm giving a different perspective. That's all. I don't know if that's what the way he was thinking. I'm just saying that could be an answer to your question. I'm just saying.
It's not an answer because in the same vein, he said, basically anybody who criticizing me haven't reached my level and done the things that I've done. So if that's your thought process, why address it? Clearly you're saying that you've reached heights in your career and done things that these people aren't doing, can't do, are bad at. Because he even said some of them that was commenting that was band directors was below average. So why even address people that you feel like are beneath you?
Shots fired.
He did say that.
I didn't say that. He said that.
No, I'm saying he did. That was for him because he was firing the shots.
He said it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is getting spicy. But if that's your thought process that your opinion doesn't matter because you haven't done these things, then they don't deserve a response.
That's fair. That's fair. Quan, any thoughts? Do people still have a right to say that you shouldn't have an opinion?
The question is, should people say it again, bro? Say it again. Say it again for me.
See, I be thinking off the dome, man. You got to catch me when I catch me. What I said was,
are we still in a space where people can say, or is it okay for people to say in this space that you can't have an opinion about something they're doing in this situation, their band program?
Hell no, because it's the same opinion that keeps your job. It's the same opinion. Like here's the thing: as we climb this ladder of life and whatever endeavors or the fields of endeavors that we have, you're going to have opinions. Think about it. You got people who've never played an instrument, but got that l'argent, and they're willing to pay to see your band. His or her opinion matters. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. We are in the field of entertainment. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Yes, we are educators, and but to get paid, it's entertainment, bro. I'm sorry. First of all, Mr. Donovan Wells is a great band director who does have a distinct sound. Now, he's been with BCU now for over 20 years. Snakes, that shouldn't even faze him. Just keep your grass cut, big dog. Just clock, how them young kids say, nah, clock it. It's oh, you were speaking to me for homecoming, but you talking about me in the comments? Clock it. Nah, you can't come to this band hall. I'm gonna be real. If I become a college band director and it's at PV, I know it's some people I don't get along with PV. They can't come in this band hall, alumni or not. That's just what it is. My thing is, at the end of the day, he's a gifted music educator that his legacy really is solidified. It's what's what's small stuff to a giant? That's my mindset.
That's what I was saying. Like, why would you even get on here and address it? And see, I wouldn't have, and then he was like, pick up the phone and call me. You want them people calling you? Why? Just know that I see you. And the next time you try to come up to me at a homecoming or whatever else may be, anything outside of a hi, I'm going to call it out. No, we're not going to do that. I saw what you said. Have a nice day. I'm not getting online and defending my actions to people you're clearly saying don't matter. And I also didn't care for, and I like Donovan Wells has paid his dues, but to say I helped these people, I gave them scholarships, they shouldn't have anything negative to say. No, I don't agree with that. We aren't robots. This isn't a cult. I don't say everything that I think, on the internet because I work for the university right now, but I criticize the Legion. Half will, criticize the band program, and before I got on the staff, I was very vocal about the things that I didn't like that I saw. And
listen, if y'all would have been during my time when we were having gym battles and the Silks hit the floor, you could hear Portia from the stands. I'm just being real. You could hear Portia from the stands. I'm sorry, but yeah, go ahead. I am not lying.
We should be raising independent thinkers. And if everybody is agreeing with everything that you're doing, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I was shocked that he said that. Like, I helped you get out of school. I gave you your degree, so you shouldn't be criticizing the program. I don't agree with that. I don't think they should be fake and grinning up in your face and not being true to how they really feel. But to say that they shouldn't criticize you or have an opinion about things that the program needs to improve on, I think is disingenuous. I think that's a crazy way to think. I also think that he said, what did he say? My goal is the current students in the band and I'm worried about the people that are still here, and I'm not worried about anybody that has moved on. You're not telling me, because part of our job is to serve at the pleasure of these students. You're not telling me that those current students don't want to expand that book. You're not telling me that they wouldn't want to keep the traditions, but add something to it. You're not telling me that. And in the Legion, we ask opinions on things for some things, depending on what it is. Those songs, a lot of people be like, y'all do a lot of old school songs. Those students are coming to me with a list at the beginning of every season. They picking the Brandies. They picking these songs. They old spirits for whatever reason, but they give us a list. The Guards and the Silks come up with a list. We put it together, and based on whatever we're trying to do, we pull from that list. Like,
that's beautiful, because we ain't had it.
You know what I'm saying? But they're more invested. They're more likely to really be excited about it. Now if we give them something, they're going to do it. But you're not telling me that those students wouldn't want to add 5 additional songs. We can play Ice Cream Man, but we want to play whatever this new song is too. You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying you're worried about those students, you're not telling me they're completely satisfied with their experience.
They're getting national recognition.
That's what the school is looking for. That's why your job is secure, and that's why those checks are getting ready to clear. Those things that he named is what that board of visitors and his bosses are looking for. They are nationally recognized. They're getting invited to all these national things. They are being what he called a national band, or I forget how he said it. Those are the things that keep you in that seat. What I'm saying is, what kind of experience are those students getting?
I will say this, and I don't think that your question is a bad question, and I probably want to look at that. But I will say that he definitely said something around those lines that I think made a lot of sense. Some of these crank up bands don't sound good on national television. Like, let's be real.
Completely agree with him.
Let's be real.
They are relatable in that way. They're going to sound good. They're not going to do too much. It's going to translate on TV. I completely agree with him on that. I didn't disagree with all that he said. I just think he came in like a hothead and was flipping out on the dude who podcasted was in a way that was, I would have had to check Mr. Wells. I'm not your student no more. Pipe down, sir.
So I have a question. Because I'm not familiar and I'd be out the box. So is this was he throwing it at him? Because that's his former student too?
Yes, he was talking to him a little spicy. I would have stopped him and said, hey, I'm trying to be respectful, but you're not respecting me. And then I'm going to say this from a professional level. The young man also works at Bethune. So not only this is your former student, but he's also your colleague at this point. It was a bit much for me.
But and what I say is not fair, because now I'm getting the backstory. What's not fair is this. There's been things that we've felt about our respected alma maters that we either agreed or didn't disagree. But we have a relationship and a rapport with the people that's on staff to where it's like, if we didn't like it and we said it, we didn't fat mouth them, but it was just our opinion. And if we had to have a conversation behind closed doors with them, we had it too. My thing is, bro, at the end of the day, if my side hustle is trying to create content for a podcast, one thing I must say, and for those that's gonna, ever call Luke anything, you can't call him unjust and unfair, because what he does for one, he does for everybody else. What he does for the goose is good for the gander. I don't care if it's from PV, if it's from Norfolk. If he says this band did it and it was bad, and he sees another band, he don't ride that coattail and be like, but you see how they did it? He be like, nah, that was bad too. If he did a Luke band report on this particular school and it was trash, and another school did it, he did it on it. Like he's fair. And I think at the end of the day, people are in their feelings too much. Like, bro, I'm gonna just say it like this. Some of the band directors in the HBCU have become too sassy. I remember when that particular seat, you just was quiet. Now, he was a hothead in his office, but in regards of commenting publicly, nah.
I just think, and the thing is I didn't watch the entire thing because it was lengthy, but the part that I did watch before Donovan called in, I don't think the young man was disrespectful. He didn't say anything crazy. It was the people in the comments,
correct,
kind of saying the things. And Donovan said to him, well, it's your podcast. I expect you to control it. I just thought that was too much. I don't know. And I said this to Julian before. I don't know if it's the Dr. O'Neill Sanford influencing me and how he told us not to engage with people on the internet or whatever the case may be. I still don't do it to this day, regardless of what people have to say about, the squad I coach. I just feel like certain things are, once you're in that seat, are beneath you. Going back and forth with people on the internet, I just don't think you should be doing that. I don't understand the purpose of it. It didn't change anybody's mind. The people that agree with you and support you and are okay with what you're doing still have that same position. The ones that don't, that feel like it needs to change, it needs to evolve, y'all need a better book, they still feel like that, even though you've gotten on here and said all of this stuff. It didn't change any minds. It didn't. So why waste your time? Like, I'm going to give y'all an example. I will not call the band director's name. But we were in DC or Maryland for the capital city this year. And I made a comment. And the band director turns around and addressed me. And I said, ugh, the ghetto. Like, why would you even respond to somebody that doesn't matter to your program? And he looked at me like, double deduction. Yeah, why? Who am I? that I deserved a response because I made a comment about your program.
Because they put so much work and energy and all of their life into that program, and who are you to make a comment? You ain't gave, like Mr. Wells said, you ain't gave no water, you ain't gave no spat, you ain't did nothing. So you need to.
If I am the coordinator and I overhear somebody say something negative, I'm not addressing it, because guess what? I'm gonna show up and do the same job the next day.
Here's the crazy thing about all, and as we're learning, I forgot what quote it is, but it's basically was like, if you live for the cheer, you will die by the defeat. And I just feel like that's just bottom line what it is, bro. If you're living for that applause, let's be real. Bethune-Cookman is a great band program. There's no taking that away, right? But let's be real. They book ain't got built. Like when they had they book ain't been built since been
all that the comments
everybody
were.
said. But here's the reality. We've been saying it. Like, let's keep it 1,000. When they had that MEAC swag challenge and they was battling against Jackson State, and them boys played, I think it was International Anthem. That was their intro. We all know what's gonna happen. We gonna sing Wildcats Let's Go. We know that they're gonna have an awesome not flag routine, but concert piece, concert number. They're a great band, but let's not act like
they're not predictable.
Right. And that's all. I didn't look at all the comments, but that's all that people were really saying, that it's time to add to grow the book. Most of what I saw was about the stands. And let's be honest, and I say this all the time, traditions are good, but anything that is not growing is dead. You're not, and if you're going to make it about the students, which it should be, right? They're paying to be at the institution. Now you may be helping them, but they're still giving you a service in return. You're not telling me that if you poll those students, if they didn't say, if I could change something, that it wouldn't be those stand tunes. You're not going to make me believe that. And I don't think I saw anybody say completely throw it away, but is it not possible to add 5 new tunes, 10 new tunes, something on top of what you've already done? I don't know why that sparked such a visceral reaction from him. I was shocked. I get it. Everybody's going to have an opinion about the job that you're doing. And, you did help these people possibly, change their lives. But them criticizing or having an opinion that's adverse about the program doesn't mean that they're not grateful for the opportunity that you provided. And he said, well, pick up the phone and call me. I wouldn't want all those people calling me. I mean, because are you going to do anything different if they call you? I don't know. I truly respect him and what he's done. I just am a little bit shocked about that response and how he treated that young man that is now his colleague. Yeah.
I said it on LBR and I'll say it again as we get ready to close out, is the fact that unfortunately we don't live in a time right now as we used to, right? Everything at one time used to be VHS or nothing. And the conversation generally would be, if you saw it, you saw it, and if you didn't, you didn't. Most time when people had anything to critique or criticize, they generally would talk to you in their face because there was no social media to do it with. Now that we are in this space where social media is a thing and there's always a camera, and most places have media teams, you have put yourself out in the public space to be scrutinized. I mean, that's just what it is. Everybody's going to have an opinion because they have access to it. If you don't want that type of energy, my suggestion is protect your brand. That means that you need to get your own media team, and your media team needs to only put out certain things, and the things that you don't want out, you can do a cease and desist if you try to do that.
Southern do it. Let's be real. Southern do it. Nah, I never forget. I forgot what that Crank Fest was.
People still critique them. What are you preventing?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Because even if you control the media portion, it's still going to get posted, and everything is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And to expect everybody to only have nice things to say about your program is just not realistic.
Yeah, bro.
Even the people who came through it. Some of that is not even a slight against you. It's everybody has that. Well, when we were in the band, it's just human nature. Like, what are we expecting
But you
here?
know what the only thing I could possibly see is he's heard it so much to where that noise is getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing, because if it's coming from your students, because here's the truth. You got people that's going to go to BCU for the tradition. I must say that their Netflix show opened my eyes when kids was like, man, all I want to do is be a Wildcat. And I'm like, I feel it, and that's what's up. But at the end of the day, the reality of it is you can't stop a critique. It is what it is, bro. It ain't gonna stop. It ain't go, you're Bethune.
Some of it is now the culture has shifted. It is more stand focused, and then you're not in the MEAC no more, where you may not see a band or the competition. You're in this SWAC where they're learning and playing songs that came out last week. They have a book that is deep, and so now it's more under the microscope. And people have been saying it for years. I just think it's louder now because of the conference that they're in and the people that they have to sit across from.
But before I go, here's the crazy thing. But they don't go nowhere. That's the thing. Why do we think that? They don't. No, it ain't no shot fire, bro. Don't.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
They don't go nowhere.
They don't go nowhere.
FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, they accepted the role of the SWAC. They're the furthest east, really southeast. It costs.
Yeah.
They don't really see nobody.
Nope.
Yeah.
They don't see nobody. I'm sorry.
Nope.
They don't. So that's why it's so exciting and exhilarating when Jackson play FAMU or PV play FAMU and so forth and so on, because they don't go nowhere.
That's why Norfolk don't need to be in the SWAC.
No.
Hell no.
That's why they don't need to be in the SWAC.
Y'all low-key need to be independent.
No.
No. No.
I ain't gonna lie. A&T need to get back in the SWAC. I mean,
no, they need to come back.
They need to come back. Yeah, they need to come back.
Them and Hampton, because they is getting dragged up.
They not making no real money.
And their alumni are very upset because they said when they come back to homecoming, it's always some school that they don't recognize. There's no band over there, so it doesn't really feel like their homecoming.
Yeah, it don't feel like the true chocolate experience.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
So that's why I said I'd rather keep us in the MEAC before that, because I don't.
All right. Well, we've made it through another episode, man, and this has been super dope. I definitely appreciate the back and forth and the conversations. Don't forget, you can go and get anything in our store. All you got to do is put whatever you want in your cart, and then you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Before we go, though, Quan, any final thoughts, anything you got for the culture?
Nah.
What?
Nah, I don't, because I just say it like this. At the end of the day, man, don't take this internet serious. It's not real. They're not real.
Real place.
And the other half of that is people definitely will hide behind the screen.
Absolutely.
Easy. Say whatever they want, but will hide behind the screen.
Right.
All right, Portia, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Stay true to who you are. Everything doesn't require a response. And if you feel like you are living out your calling and doing the things that you're supposed to do, whether that's band director, career aspirations, pursuing a degree, hosting a battle of the bands, just do it to the best of your ability and the rest will work out. You can't worry about everybody's opinion.
That's facts. All right. Outside of that, man, I don't really have anything, man. You guys have been great. This has been great. This has been a super dope episode. All of those great things. The one thing that I will finally say is, if you're out there and if it's snowing, freezing, or whatever, like I said at the beginning of the show, please make smart decisions. If you ain't got to leave your house, don't leave your house. And if you leave your house, please drive safely. We don't need no more. I think it's been like 100 some wrecks here in the DFW area alone.
440
Good Lord.
as of Monday morning here in Virginia.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Do what you're supposed to do. And we will see you all next time.